Good morning, everyone. I'm Amir Faroqi, Chair of the Transportation Committee. I am joined by my colleagues, Councilmember Antonio Lewis, Councilmember Jason Dozier, and Councilmember Matt Westmoreland. Welcome to the June 15, 2022 Transportation Committee meeting. We have a quorum, barely, but we have a quorum. And our first order of business is to adopt the agenda. We need to amend to accept a walk-in. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Motion by Faroqi, second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Sitting over there.
The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been amended.
I will move to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Second by Lewis. Can you open the vote, please?
The vote is open. The vote is closed. The agenda is adopted as amended.
Thank you. Our next item is to approve last meeting's minutes. Could I get a motion?
Second.
Motion by Westmoreland, second by Dozier. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Oh, I guess they
The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
We'll now move to public comment. How many folks do we have signed up today?
One moment. We have 3 public commenters. 2.
I think our first speaker is Ron Shakir, followed by Edith Latipo. Good morning.
I rise to speak on at the transportation meeting because I'm concerned about the press conference that the mayor had saying he's going to go forward with the designs of what we saw come through the Kasim Reed administration for Martin Luther King. I don't think we fairly have respected the will of the people of that community. Hundreds of them came out for years saying they did not want it. It was men and women sitting in yard seats right now that the fire department could not even approve going forward because of safety, because it was an accident already where there was an ambulance that broke down and the fire truck could not get to them because of the one-lane design, Chairperson Farouk. And you was here when that was explained, why they could not sign off on it when the councilperson was asking. So I would hope that you give more thought to it. We are familiar with Cascade and Beautiful Restaurant and what have you. A block down from near Boulevard Granada, there was an effort, and I don't know where it's at. You know, things never really die too much around here. They just come back. And it was putting in a walking lane and a bike lane on Boulevard Granada for one block that would impact the whole community from Beechwood Fire Station, crossing over Adams Park, Camden Road, who use that corridor. And I happened to go door to door and talk to people who didn't know nothing about it until it rolled out, and for a test. But for sure, it will break up the culture in those communities, in that particular block. There's certain cultures that have repasts or funerals, or they need to park in front of their own house. That plan would take away the parking privileges and the right and the cultural expectation. And I would just say on that matter, Mr. Chairman Farouk and other council persons, that we have to measure the impact of legislation not by shiny things. This is a city of Martin Luther King. Not by shiny things, but how for human development in stable communities. And that's why we got to look at every piece of legislation. And we have to re-examine the Beltline. I know that's supposed to be the happy clappy. But I just want to say about, I'm going to say something in the public comment as far as the other chance to come up and speak about the Georgia Tech Our development can't get away from human beings and citizens being able to have stable communities. Tall buildings does not justify the progression of where we should be going to. And I would hope that we look at human impact, because we have made a great impact. We have made a great investment in this city, in our schools, and for sure, I don't think we're measuring the impact on our elementary schools and on our. If I can have about 20 more seconds, I get a telephone.
Thank you, Mr. Shakir.
Yeah, 20 seconds. I get one of these in the mail, right? And it's two lovely little Caucasian girls, 7 and 9 years old, and they're saying, we want to buy your house. But I think we ought to measure the fact across the street from me on that same corner, it was 3 girls and 1 boy. And you know what happened to them? They lost their house because they had a voucher, and they could not. That voucher was taken for people who want to make hotels. Make hotels.
Shakir, everyone gets 3 minutes. You know, look, you're not new
saying
at
that
this.
with a smile. There's not many people down here.
You're a veteran.
This is not a smiling matter. I will sit down. But we need to measure the impact on all girls and children and boys and families in this city, Mr. Farouk. And I wish you would take the time to allow me to say that if I run over. Thank you.
Thank you. You are welcome to reach out to us, to talk to us beyond public comment. We're all available to talk, but you know well that each speaker here gets 3 minutes, right? If you get 5 minutes, everyone else has to get 5 minutes. So Ms. Edith Ladapo, you're up. And I believe I noticed one other gentleman trying to sign up to speak. Yeah. Mr. Bryan, would you like to give public comment? You just go ahead and come up. Just come on up. Yeah.
Hello, good morning. I just had 2 things to talk about. One, the most recent MARTA board meeting. I went and, we do need recalibration of that program. I would like to plead for that. And then number 2, about the T-SPLOS, the committee, the Community Engagement Committee. What will be the role for that committee? Because I know it's made up of 3 committees to make sure the program functions for the residents that's paying into the new program. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that concludes public comment. Ms. Ladapo is not here. So if she arrives, we'll give her the mic, but we'll move on to our next item, presentations and reports. We have a report today from the Atlanta Regional Commission brought to us by Councilmember Westmoreland.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 5 updates, which I will endeavor to provide in 75 seconds or less. During the first week in May, 120 government, business, and civic leaders from the metro area went and visited Austin, Texas for the annual link trip coordinated by the Regional Commission. It was 3 days of panels and conversations, which unsurprisingly focused heavily on transportation and housing affordability in the ways that the Austin community has or has not been able to grapple with those issues. I will note it was the first time since 2012 that a sitting mayor of Atlanta, attended the trip, and that did not go unnoticed. Cannot tell you the number of folks who appreciated Mayor Dickens being in attendance for the entire trip. And I'll add that having the mayor of Atlanta and the chairs of Fulton, Cobb, Gwinnett, DeKalb, Clayton, and Henry all together talking about regional issues was something that, frankly, we haven't seen in a long time. Last month, Councilman Dozier mentioned at the end of a full council meeting that the West End CID was one of 9 recipients of a Livable Centers Initiative grant from the ARC, $200,000 to develop a multimodal transportation plan along the Ralph David Abernathy corridor to connect the West End MARTA station, the West End Mall, and the surrounding neighborhoods. Earlier this month, 5 Metro Atlanta communities were awarded planning and technical support through the ARC's Community Development Assistance Program. One of those was the Cascade Springs Nature Conservancy, which will work with ARC staff to prioritize a proposed network of 8 multimodal greenway corridors that will connect more than 600 acres of green space within a 1-mile radius of the Cascade Heights Business Historic District. Last Wednesday, the ARC board approved an amendment to the region's transportation improvement plan that will allocate $45 million coming our way from the federal bipartisan infrastructure law. It includes $12 million that will go to MARTA for the purchase of 22 new buses with compressed natural gas. It includes a $12 million pilot for the region around enabling local transit agencies to purchase electric buses. I know a number of us were at the Edgewood Cantaloupe Park MARTA station maybe a month or two ago to celebrate MARTA purchasing some of those buses, and will now have additional resources to buy more. And then finally, this past Monday, the ARC announced the 54 individuals who have been selected to take part in the 2022 Regional Leadership Institute, which will take place in Savannah this September. So, happy to answer any questions you all have.
Thank you, Councilmember Westmoreland. Any questions from the body? Barring none, we'll move forward to our, thank you for the report. We'll see you next quarter. Next item is we have a public hearing item today, item G on the agenda. I will move to open the public hearing. Could I get a second? Second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The public hearing is open.
We have, I believe, a public comment or two. Mr. Shakir, welcome back. 3 minutes.
Yeah, Ron Shakir, Southwest Atlanta. The Cascade Conservative project that Mr. Westmoreland spoke on, there's a lot of concerns. And to your point about public engagement and taking too much time by allotting me a little bit more time when there's hardly no one signed up or even know the process. That's a lot of money in that community with a big, big project. And it used to be, before you got here, Mr. Farouk, citizens had an opportunity to ask questions on a presentation and make a comment on a presentation as important and as powerful as ARC. And it's kind of bad. We're going backwards when we do not allow that kind of engagement, community engagement, on a person who drags the whole state of Georgia almost. ARC is very important. What I see on the Georgia Tech project was a question that was asked about 6 years ago or 7 years ago when Mr. Shook made a comment about a design of a street. I want to ask you, I wasn't clear on this, is that a dead-end street, Mr. Farouk? Can you tell us what it looked like? Is it a dead-end street?
I don't know, Mr. Shakir.
So you haven't looked at it?
The floor is yours.
Can anyone answer that question? The land piece that Georgia Tech is requesting, is it a dead-end street?
Mr. Shakir, you can use your time for public comment. We can ask DOT that when they come up to speak about the legislation. Let's assume it is a dead-end street. Continue.
Well, if it is a dead-end street, Mr. Shook's response was, wow, if you're going to open them cans of worms, well, there's a lot of people in my community who would love to convert a street that they have not been able to convert to a dead-end street. So that would give them a lot of space as developers and investors. Public land is so important, especially by a college campus, and what I understand with the investor, Google or whoever is coming in, they're transforming that community, but it's a displacement that's going on. And it's not just black and white, but white families and mothers are not going to be able to, teachers and students are not going to be able to afford to stay in that community. And then what is the impact in the surrounding communities where it's just a wave, where people are, and we have made great investments, pushed out. And it seems like it opens the door to Mr. Westmoreland talking about these type of transportation projects that would like to come forward and roll out. It's constantly pushing people into being in a situation where they don't have a stable life no more. Atlanta should be a city that represents stability for communities, all communities, and respect the culture and the history and the presence of all people, Mr. Farouk. And you should be a leader in that.
Thank you, Mr. Shakir. Councilmember Norwood, would you like to speak to this matter?
I was just going to share with Mr. Shakir the actual location of the street.
Could you just answer whether or not it's a dead end?
Mr. Shakur, it is on the Georgia Tech campus. I know First Drive very well, so I understand what we're looking at. It actually encircles. So is it a dead end? But it's not a short block. It is a long circumference around the Georgia Tech campus. It is not connected to housing. So this is on the campus, and it is north of the parkway that separates the campus from housing south of there, Home Park and other neighborhoods right
And will
there.
our action be giving them that property?
That I don't know, but I'm giving you the information that I was just able to get.
Thank you, Ms. Norwood. Ms. Tell, would you mind reading in the caption, and then if Alan Smith from DOT would come forward to speak to the item, or anyone from DOT? Oh, real estate's here. Okay. If you don't mind reading the caption. Yeah.
Item number 1, 220-1441, an ordinance by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee on behalf of the City of Atlanta to abandon portions of a public street known as First Drive between Cherry Street and State Street, consisting of approximately 6.539 acres, lying and being in land lots 80 and 81, of the 14th District, Fulton County, Georgia, and being more specifically described in the attached Exhibit A to the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia on behalf of the Georgia Institute of Technology for purchase at fair market value and said abandonment to be finalized upon completion of the construction and relocation of a replacement water main on the property by the Georgia Institute of Technology, authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute a quitclaim deed for such abandoned right-of-way and any other documents necessary to effectuate the abandonment and for other purposes.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, please introduce yourself for the viewers as well.
Good morning. Patrick Richardson, Department of Transportation.
Sorry. Please continue.
The Georgia Board of Regents, on behalf of Georgia Tech, petitioned the city to abandon approximately 6.5 acres of right-of-way known as First Drive between State Street and Cherry Street. It is only a portion of First Drive. It is not a dead end. The overwhelming majority of it will remain a roadway. A small portion of it will be developed into green space, and another small portion of it is slated for future development.
Seeing no questions, I'll move to approve. Nope.
Mr. Chair, we need to close the public hearing.
So I will, any questions for Mr. Richardson? Nope. Did I hear a motion to close the public hearing? By Westmoreland, second by Faroki. Please open the vote to close the public hearing.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The public hearing is closed.
I will move to approve. Motion by Faroki, second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
Okay, we'll now going to skip to item 23, section L under appraisals, because this is linked to this paper. If you don't mind reading in item 23.
Item 23, appraisal of the abandonment of portions of First Drive between Cherry Street and State Street, consisting of 6.539 acres, which are scheduled to be abandoned pursuant to 220-1441. The appraiser's estimate of the fair market value is $3,560,000.00.
Mr. Richardson.
Kim Cantrell, on behalf of the Department of Transportation, appraised the First Drive abandonment, and the fair market value is $3,560,000.
Any questions from the body? Barring none, I will move to accept the appraisal. Motion by Faroki, second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
It's a voice vote, Mr. Chair.
Voice vote. All right. Any nays? All right. Yeas? Yeah. Any ayes? Aye. Any abstentions? All right. The ayes have it. All right. We will move now to the consent agenda, section H. Ms. Tell, would you mind reading them in?
Item number 2, 220-1487, An ordinance by Transportation Committee establishing the fiscal year 2023 Airport Renewal and Extension Fund 5502, Airport Passenger Facility Charge Fund 5505, Airport Customer Facility Charge Fund 5512, Aviation Encumbrance Program 5536, budgets by transferring to and from appropriations in the amount of $409,530,960.00 to provide funding for various projects at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport and for other purposes. Item number 3, 220-1488, an ordinance by Transportation Committee to amend the FY 2023 Airport Renewal and Extension Fund 5502 budget by anticipating and appropriating the transfer of equity closeout from the Airport Revenue Fund 5501 to the Airport Renewal and Extension Fund 5502 in an amount of $188,838,816.05 and for other purposes.
Great. These items are first read, so we will accept those and vote on them next cycle. We'll move now to ordinances for second read. Section I on the agenda. Can you please lead us off with item 4 and then any block that may be appropriate for that one?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Can we take items 4, 8, 9, and 11?
Yes, please.
Item number 4, 220-1448, an ordinance by Councilmember Byron Amos authorizing the mayor or his designee to make the intersection of Chickamauga Avenue Northwest and Sharon Street Northwest be made an always stop control intersection, to authorize the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install stop signs at the intersection and for other purposes. Item number 8, 220-1457, an ordinance by Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari authorizing the mayor or his designee to make the intersections of Arkwright Place Southeast and Vanoy Street Southeast, Arkwright Place Southeast, and Erickson Street Southeast be made in always stop controlled intersections, to authorize the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install stop signs at the intersections and for other purposes. Item number 9, 220-1458, an ordinance by Councilmember Liliana Bakhtiari authorizing the mayor or his designee to make the intersections of Rockyford Road Northeast and Emory Place Northeast be made an always stop control intersection, to authorize the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install stop signs at the intersection and for other purposes. Item number 11, 220-1470, an ordinance by Council Members Andrea L. Boone and Marcy Collier Overstreet authorizing the mayor or his designee to make the intersection of Shirley Street Southwest and Beecher Road Southwest an always stop control intersection, to authorize the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install stop signs at the intersection and for other purposes.
Thank you. Is there anyone from Atlanta DOT who'd like to speak to these items? These are all always stop requests.
Good morning, everyone. Alan Smith, Interim Deputy Commissioner, TM. We support all the always stops.
Terrific. I will move to approve. Motion by Faroki, second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
I appreciate your brevity. It's always welcome.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. These items are favorable.
Item 5.
Okay, that takes us to item number 5, 220-1449, an ordinance by Councilmember Byron Amos authorizing the mayor or his designee to install school zone flashing lights on the corners of Griffin Street Northwest and Spencer Street Northwest, Spencer Street Northwest and James P. Brawley Drive Northwest, Griffin Street Northwest, and Orr Street Northwest, to promote a safe environment for the students attending the Michael R. Hollis Innovation Academy and for other purposes.
Per the sponsor, Councilmember Amos, he's asked us to file this paper, so I will move to do so. Second by Dozier. please open the vote.
The vote is open.
So, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Please, if you want to speak to it.
Yes, so for that item, right now it currently reads install school zone flashing lights. We asked that the language read install school zone flashing lights or signs based on engineering analysis. And basically we just want to have some flexibility with what our engineers find. We think we might be able to achieve the same thing with signage.
Okay, I was under the impression that Councilmember Amos has asked us to file this. Is that?
Yes, that is correct. We currently have a walk-in on the agenda that changes this.
So we'll pick this up with the walk-in, but the motion to file and the second stands. The vote is open. Looks like it may be.
Yes, the vote is closed.
Yeah.
4 yeas, 0 nays. This item has been filed. That takes us to number 6. Mr. Chair, if we could take items 6, 7, and 13 as a block.
Please do.
Item number 6, 220-1453, an ordinance by Council Members Jason Dozier and Byron Amos authorizing the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Washington Place Southwest between White House Drive Southwest and Newcastle Street Southwest and for other purposes. Item number 7, 220-1454, an ordinance by Council Members Jason Dozier and Byron Amos authorizing the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on White House Drive between Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Beckwith Street Southwest and for other purposes. Item number 13, 220-1480, an ordinance by Councilmember Mary Norwood authorizing the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices, speed tables on 28th Street Northwest between Peachtree Road Northwest and Ardmore Road Northwest and for other purposes.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
We support it.
Thank you. These are all items for traffic calming devices for folks who may not have caught that. I will move to approve.
Second.
Second by Dozier. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. These items are favorable. That takes us to item number 10, 220-1469, an ordinance by Council Members Andrea L. Boone, Michael Julian Bond, and Matt Westmoreland authorizing the mayor or his designee to make the intersection of Kenner Drive Southwest and Bakers Ferry Road Southwest an always stop controlled intersection, to authorize the Atlanta Department of Transportation to install stop signs at the intersection and for other purposes. Mr. Chair, this item needs to be amended to replace Bakers Ferry Road Southwest and Kenner Drive Southwest to Bakers Ferry Road Southwest and Bakers Ferry Road Southwest.
Motion to amend by Westmoreland, second by Dozier. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item has been amended.
Great. I will now move to approve. Could I get a second?
Second.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable as amended. That takes us to item number 12, 220-1479, an ordinance by Councilmember Mary Norwood imposing a moratorium on intersection improvements within Atlanta City Council District 8 until a comprehensive traffic plan can be created for District 8 and for other purposes.
Great. Councilmember Norwood.
I have met with the law department. They are requesting that we file this. Once again, I did an ordinance, and they would prefer for it to be a resolution. So I would like to ask you to file it, and I will introduce a resolution on Monday for immediate consideration. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. I will move to file. Could I get a second? Second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item has been filed. That takes us to resolutions. Item number 14, 22R3718, a resolution by Councilmember Mary Norwood authorizing the mayor or his designee to remove the pedestrian median at the intersection of Valley Road Northwest and West Paces Ferry Road Northwest and for other purposes.
Ms. Norwood.
Yes, the department has asked that this be held. I have had conversations with the commissioner, who will not be with us much longer, and he has not had an opportunity to talk with the department. We do want this to move forward in 2 weeks, but we will hold it for the department to have that conversation. It would be part of the West Paces Ferry T-Splost bond resurfacing at the same time.
Thank you. Anything from DOT on that?
No, not right now.
Okay, terrific. I will move to hold. Second by Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. Four yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. Held in committee, my apology. Okay, that takes them to item 15, 22R 3837, a resolution by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute Cooperative Purchasing Agreement CPS 1220288, Contract Management Portal at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport with Brasatec LLC, utilizing the General Services Administration contract number 47QTCA19D00ME for an initial term of 3 years with 2 one-year renewal options and an amount not to exceed $405,157.04 for the purpose of an airport concessions management portal on behalf of the Department of Aviation in accordance with sections 2-1602, 2-1604, 2-1606, and 2-1608 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances. All contracted work to be paid to be charged to and paid from account numbers listed herein and for other purposes.
Thank you, Ms. Tell. Mr. Bayadari.
B.B. Adari, Airport General Manager. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Council Member. Before I present this paper, I just would like to take a second to introduce you to future leaders of a very exciting career. And we have a handful of our high school interns here. If you all could please stand and be recognized.
Welcome. We're excited to see you.
And I'm glad that they added some color to this environment here. Please take your seat. This is a request to modernize a legacy but manual concession system that we have. And we are looking at replacing the manual system with a secure web-based concession management portal with multi-level access for both our Department of Aviation concession team and our concessionaires to communicate and show compliance with our concession program and so on and so forth.
I will move to approve.
Second.
Second by Dozier. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable. That takes us to item number 16, 22R 3838, a resolution by Transportation Committee on behalf of the Atlanta Department of Transportation to amend resolution number 21R 3744, adopted by the Atlanta City Council on August 16, 2021, and approved per City Charter Section 2-403 on August 25, 2021, by adding an additional funding source, all other parts of the legislation to remain unchanged and for other purposes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes, so we just basically need to add 2 funding sources for the FY20 LMIG. So we support that.
Great. I will move to approve. Is there a second? Second by Lewis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
I got a feeling.
This takes us to item number 17, 22R 3839, a resolution by Transportation Committee authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into a memorandum of understanding agreement with the Midtown Business Association, doing business as Midtown Alliance, On behalf of the Department of Transportation, pursuant to which Midtown Alliance will install and maintain landscaping and streetscape elements within the city's right-of-way and for other purposes.
Mr. Smith, before you reflect on this, I'm going to give you a tip. You should sit in the front row so you don't have to walk from the back every time. Yeah.
Popular guy today.
Yeah. Would you like to speak to this item?
No, we support it.
Great. And I will add, as a representative of most of Midtown, this is a welcome partnership with Midtown Alliance, who will do a great job maintaining the streetscape through their footprint. Mr. Lewis.
His tip was to sit on the front row. My tip is to keep going. I'm enjoying this with you. Welcome to the council, brother.
Man, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second by Councilman Westmoreland. Please open the vote.
The vote is open.
Yes.
And please mark Mr. Lewis as a yes. His system has disappeared.
Rebooted.
The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 4 nays. This item is favorable. Mr. Chair, we have one item to be taken off hold.
Please.
It is item number 22-01413, an ordinance by Councilmember Mary Norwood authorizing the mayor or his designee to install traffic calming devices on Woodhaven Road Northwest from West Paces Ferry Road Northwest to Tuxedo Road Northwest and for other purposes.
Ms. Norwood, would you like to speak to this? Yeah.
Not sure why this was held, but I'd like for it to come off of held, like all of our other traffic calming ordinances and requests.
Terrific. Any reflections from DOT?
No.
Okay. Motion to approve by Westmoreland, second by Faroki. Please open the vote. I should have let you do this. Second by Lewis. Please open the vote. Assuming that's okay. Yeah. That way you don't.
The vote is open. Will everyone please vote? The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
And I believe that concludes our legislative items today. We have one more?
Yes, Mr. Chair. We have the walk-in paper.
That's right. Please.
Okay, this is AMS ID number 30096, a resolution by Transportation Committee requesting the mayor or his designee to install school zone flashing beacons or signs based on an engineering study on the corners of Griffin Street Northwest and Spencer Street Northwest, Spencer Street Northwest and James P. Brawley Drive Northwest, Griffin Street Northwest and Orr Street Northwest, to promote a safe environment for the students attending the Michael R. Hollis Innovation Academy and for other purposes.
Perfect. Mr. Smith.
We support it.
Excellent. I believe this is the paper that, Mr. Amos's paper, that was an ordinance. We filed it, and this is the resolution.
Correct.
Okay, terrific. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lewis. Please open the vote.
The vote is open. The vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. This item is favorable.
That concludes our
Yes,
legislative
Mr.
items
Chair.
today. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. This meeting is adjourned.